So you can see what I'm at here. This rock is painted in. It's in place. It may still require some highlights. Not going to worry about that yet. Same here. I like the lines in this rock. Broken it up into design. I'm not too fond of this one coming across here yet. But I'm blithering already and I should stop with that. But what I have done is made some decisions regarding this foliage. This foliage, the F word, and I'm laying it in so that I can get back up towards the top of the painting. It's not a complaint, it's just something that has to be done, and frankly, I get to use a big brush, so it actually goes fairly quickly. So I'm not painting, I am painting leaves, but I'm not spending a lot of time worrying about making sure that I have everything right. Mostly, I'm just after an impression of these leaves. Leaves, stems, what have you. I don't want it to be too busy. Definitely don't want it to be too busy. And I don't want it to be too high value. I just want people to glance at it and say, yeah, okay. I get it. I understand what's going on. I'm using cobalt blue and burnt sienna. Which, as you know, makes for a dark and dirty green. And that's exactly what I want for this area. Something cold. Well, cold compared to the rest of the painting. I mean, quite honestly, it's not really that cold because of the burnt sienna. Marty Major left a comment on the last video, and I'd like to actually address that right now. And she said she would like to see me paint fire. And what I gather from the comment is that it was about an actual, like a forest fire. Which I agree is absolutely, can be just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. They are. They're you know, they don't mean any harm. They just are. They exist. They're a part of the balance of nature. Unfortunately, the mere mention of forest fire these days has become so politically charged. With all the climate alarmists and all that sort of thing. I've actually, even some paintings that I've sent to galleries at times, over the past, say, 20 years or so, the owner of the gallery has said, boy, that looks a lot like a forest fire. People are kind of afraid of that idea. They don't really want to hang it in their living room. And I guess I can see that, but on the other hand, I think they're beautiful. Now, if this was just a hobby and I did not depend on what I do to make my living, I'd probably investigate that a little bit further. But as it sits, I stay away from it. You know, from that subject, because it's just kind of, why bother going there? Forest fires just exist. They're part of the natural order of things. I'll never argue with the natural order of things. God created it. Who am I to disagree? You know, the sad thing is that if we build our homes in places that are adjacent to the wilderness, then when the day comes that there is a forest fire, yeah, we're going to pay the consequences for it. There's no question. We're far more vulnerable to that, and so be it. It's just part of the deal. It's like having ancient oak trees over your driveway, and then a hurricane comes along, or a tornado comes along. Well, pretty good chance your vehicles aren't going to do too well under that. You can't blame the tornado or the hurricane, or any heavy winds, or hail or thunderstorms. You just have to accept it as reality. Personally, I see beauty in that stuff. I see beauty in violent weather. A lot, actually. A lot of beauty. Would I want to hang it on my wall in my living room? No. In a painting? No, I don't think so. So I can certainly understand where it wouldn't be a popular sort of subject matter. So odds of me painting a forest fire type subject is pretty close to nil for the time being. Maybe at some point in the future. Years ago, I don't know, something like 28 years ago or something, I went on a plein air painting trip by myself to the north end of a lake. The lake's not remote, but the north end of the lake is quite remote. And I decided to take a whole bunch of 5 by 7 inch and 8 by 10 inch little wood panels with me. And the point of the camping trip was actually to plein air paint. That was the whole point. That was the reason I was going. Now I had a friend visit me, so things didn't quite end up being as productive as maybe they would have. That's fine. I really enjoyed the company when he came. So I ended up I think I planned 2 weeks, and it ended up being pretty much 10 days of me producing, making plein air paintings. I came out of there with, I think 21 panels, 8 by 10s, and and 5 by 7s. That is the only time that I have painted fire. And what it was my campfire. While I was up there, the weather cooperated a lot of the time, but at times it was pretty darn wet. And I needed to stay sort of under shelter. So I did that. And from my vantage point, I was growing weary because I painted almost everything from that vantage point, from my campsite. Then I decided oh yeah, I'm just going to paint my campfire. Turned out well, you know. It actually was it was kind of easier than I thought it was going to be. But anyway, in general, that's why I stay away from the forest fire aspect of it. My dad, I think, oh, this is like 50 years ago, before all this climate alarmist stuff was happening, he did a series of forest fires amongst trees, amongst tree trunks, and showing off the... He really seemed to nail that whole feeling of the stained glass window effect, you know? Bits of flame poking out between the tree trunks. And it was very well received by collectors and what have you. So that was kind of neat. But other than that, I think he pretty much stayed away from the forest fires as well, in later years at least. Come on. Debris. I just love debris. So Marty, sorry, but I'm just going to leave it alone for a while. Let's see here. My colors are going a bit flat here. I keep dipping into my same pile of mixed paint, and yeah, that's what happens when you do that. Things go a bit flat. Okay, I think that's good. I don't want to put too much variety down here because it's, again, it's a supportive element for the rest of the painting. It's not what the painting's about. How's that looking? Is that okay? Hey, don't get me wrong. I believe in looking after the earth 100%. But when forming your beliefs about what's actually happening, use a lot of discernment, man, because there are a lot of lies out there. And don't forget, we in our arrogance have only been around for a short while, geologically speaking. And we, in our arrogance, like to think that we know better than everything. We know better than nature itself. Nope, sorry. Doesn't work that way. Like I say, men plan, God laughs. Yeah, he doesn't laugh, but you know what I mean. Okay, I'm gonna stand up and take a look at this. Okay, there's only one thing that's bugging me. There's only one thing that's bugging me about this so far, and it's just that spot right there. And maybe I shouldn't fixate too much on anything else. This is all pretty toned down, you know. I probably am. I'm already thinking I'm going to add more light to this rock not against the edge where it meets the lighter, warmer stuff, but down in this area. However, the wise thing to do would be, experience has told me, is to wait. Wait until we've worked our way up the painting a little bit. But I will back off the camera and give you the overview, because that's, I think, always helpful. And on this channel, it's becoming somewhat traditional to do that. See, look at that. Look at that. The purpose of that little rock is partly to stop the eye from moving down the lower left-hand side of the painting. But it's a great place to put a signature. All right. There we go. I think all in all, we're heading in the right direction. Okay, see you soon.